What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour. I'm Sean.
And I'm Catherine, and as always, we'll be breaking down all things trades, entrepreneurship, and turning your creativity into a passion career.
And it's been a little while. we gotta let the people know why.
Address the people.
Yeah, there's been 2 weeks of no podcast, which really crushed my soul.
It really crushed my soul as well.
We were doing so good. We overcame so many obstacles to make sure that it got out every week.
I know.
The one obstacle that we couldn't overcome was having no voice.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks ago, I had absolutely no voice.
Yeah.
So not good for a podcast.
No.
Terrible.
It was bad, yeah.
I ended up having strep throat. Got my antibiotics. Felt better after a little bit. Then, 1 week later, on Thursday, Catherine starts feeling sick.
Yeah.
I think it's strep throat.
It was, a licensed professional
that guy
told
was
me
quack.
It was not.
I
had a sinus infection, and
he didn't even do any tests or anything.
He thumped my face real hard.
Dude, that is not. See, that's just kind of backing up my claim that guy was
he
a quack.
he looked into my face and stuff.
I think you had strep throat. We work in a van together, and I had strep throat. It's contagious, and then you had the exact same symptoms, but
we didn't have the same symptoms. You keep saying that. We didn't have the same symptoms.
Neither of us had a voice.
Other than the voice thing.
Yeah.
We didn't have the voice, but yeah, we do. I think
neither here nor there.
Neither here nor there. We do need to be mindful, though, of the direction the fan is blowing when one of us is sick, because we did have the fan directly behind you blowing towards me while you were ill. So,
but you didn't even catch what I had because you had something else.
That's
true. That guy was probably a quack. But we're feeling better now.
Yeah, we're all better. Everyone's
Our voices are back, so we should be good for at least another couple years.
I'd say,
I think so.
For sure. But it felt bad missing 2 weeks in a row, and this is our 30th episode, so it felt
oh my God.
So it felt like we were stuck at 29, and then...
Well, this one's going to be extra special, because we have so much pent-up knowledge and just stuff to talk about.
So much to say.
So much to say, so... Let's get into it. What are we going to be talking about? I think we're going to meander a little bit. We have a couple things we want to touch on.
We're going to bounce around, but I think the main thing we want to talk about was analysis paralysis this week.
Being paralyzed by analyzing too much.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the most common stumbling blocks to success is people just get so caught up in analyzing what they need to do. They need to get everything ready. They need to have everything set up perfectly before they get going, when in reality, you just need to get started.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah. Or you need to get started, and then there's the other side of analysis paralysis where people overanalyze every little thing, and then they change everything. Yeah. And then they try to overanalyze that, and they don't really know what actually had any sort of effect because they changed too much at once.
They're flip-flopping.
And then it's, Yeah. So then you're just overanalyzing every which way, but you're not really making any sort of substantial change. Yeah. So
because you need to have a big data set to be able to really analyze. If you're going to really dive into analyzing everything, you need to try out a certain thing for a while, see how it works, so that you can kind of eliminate those variables that you can't control, like timing or whatever it is. You need to have a certain amount of whatever that thing is out there so that you can analyze it correctly and really get an average.
Right.
To make your decisions on. But before we get too much into that, what?
Oh my gosh, we forgot how this podcast worked. We missed 2 weeks and we forgot how this works.
I know, yeah. What do we got?
You, my friend, have a classic Miller Lite.
I've heard good things. I hear it's pretty popular.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to try it. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Okay.
I have a summer shandy.
And where did we acquire these?
My dad's little mini fridge, his little garage mini fridge.
I didn't even know that was in here.
Yeah. My parents are away for the weekend. We're using his shop They went to an alpaca farm, actually.
Wow,
They're staying at an Airbnb on an alpaca farm.
That sounds awesome.
I know, it sounds pretty.
I'm surprised you didn't weasel your way into that trip. That sounds right up your alley.
Well, it's an hour away, and I did get an invite, so I might pop over there on Sunday or something to pet some alpacas. We'll see.
If I was you, I would be saying, I'll pack up my things. Okay.
But anyway, so they're away. And it felt very like high schoolish to like steal my dad's beer. So I liked it. We went.
And it was a lot easier.
It was.
We didn't have to go anywhere.
We didn't have to make a stop.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And he's very good at sharing. So I don't think that he's going to mind.
He won't mind.
And I already opened mine and spilled it everywhere.
Yeah, you did. So, cheers.
Cheers.
To episode 30.
Episode 30. What a time to be alive.
Wow, this Miller Lite is really good. It's
good.
Like
a
local?
It?
Yeah, local microbrew?
Local brewery,
okay.
Yeah. Very exclusive. You got to pick it up straight from the brewery.
Oh, okay.
Can't get it everywhere.
Yeah, it's very good. I'm surprised that hopefully Skip won't mind. But let's get into analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
I think that this is top of mind for us because at the moment we're really, really diving into especially our analytics on YouTube and trying to figure things out, figure out like what needs to change, how we can improve our content. So yeah, I think that's really top of mind for us. And we're obviously doing that with other things in our business, like just productivity and how we deal with clients and on all that kind of stuff. So I think we can touch on a lot of that and hopefully some people can relate. Yeah.
And I think now that I have worked here for almost a year, I have a good data set on my own, and I feel like we go through, like in our back office stuff, we go through phases of analysis paralysis. I forgot the word. But we'll go through a phase where we're like, we need to look at every single metric of everything. We need to analyze it. We need to be, we need to know every single metric by heart.
Yeah.
And then, we hit that really hard for a little while, and then we're like, then we back off. Then we're like, okay, well, at a certain point, we need to do what we want to do. And we kind of back off the analytics and kind of just take everything as it is and then go back into the analytic kind of mentality.
Yeah, and I think like a lot of it is just trial and error. Mm-hmm. So we kind of come up with different strategies or ideas and, okay, let's try this one thing and really hit it hard for a while. Like when we first started doing YouTube shorts, we were like, let's do one every day for at least a month. Initially, I was so against it because I hate that short format on YouTube. Like YouTube is really the one place where you can upload long format and people go to watch that. So I hated that they were doing this short content, and I'm still very iffy about it. I still don't like it, but
I hate it.
We wanted to try it out. So we said, we're going to do one every day for a month, and we had some really good success with it. We had, I mean, our most popular video, the Tony measuring hack, is up to like maybe 11 million views now. Yeah. Which is crazy. It's not great for making revenue off of it or anything. You barely make anything off the YouTube shorts, but it has brought subscribers. It brings new eyes to our channel, which is great. But that was one thing where we really had to like dive in and give it a chance, see how it works. And then we can sit back and say, okay, we did it every day for a month. Is this something that we really want to double down on? Do we want to continue at this rate, like making sure that this is a priority? Right. And I think we decided we're going to keep up with it, but it's not highest priority. We didn't see like this insane return on it. A couple videos happened to go viral, but for the most part, we thought, okay, we'll keep it as part of our rotation, but we're not going to like, do this at the sake of doing something else that could push us forward. Yeah.
And I think along with that, it goes with, that was just, it's a new thing that has launched, but also with all these like audiobooks that we're reading, it kind of helps shed some light on how important that kind of analytics are when it comes to social media. So definitely kind of lights a fire under your tush to kind of get more into that side of things.
And I think the thing that really scares people about this, like over-analyzing things, is you get so into it and you can't come to a conclusive decision about which way to go because you're like overwhelmed by the data, whether this is something data like on YouTube or Instagram, or it's, just data within your own business. You get overwhelmed by it and it's hard to make a decision. Mm-hmm. But you know what's worse than making a bad decision?
Making no decision.
Boom! Yeah. Was that in one of the books that we both listened to?
I think it might have been.
It might have been. But that was something that stuck with me. Like, I get in that like mindset a lot of times where I'm like, I don't know which way to go. I don't know. Should we do this? Should we do that? And it's really good to remind yourself, you're not going to know till you do one of them, and either it works, great, you made the right decision, or it fails miserably, and you're like, okay, well, that was the wrong one. Let me try the other one now. Yeah. But if you just sit in that like middle space and don't make a decision, you're not going to have any growth whatsoever, and you're just going to like delay. It's going to be like a slow death. You're just going to like kind of wither away, not making a decision. You need to make a decision. Might be the wrong one. Yeah. But then you pivot.
But then you know what's wrong, and then you figure out the right one.
Do you know what's the guy that invented the light bulb?
Thomas Edison?
Yeah. And I'm not totally sure. I've heard stories that he kind of stole that invention from somebody else.
Yeah,
Probably. You hear that about most things. Yeah. But he said, I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 things that didn't work.
Oh, I like that.
So, something to think about.
I think that's a great idea. And I think a lot of people say, when they're talking to us about like their social media presence and how they want to grow it, but they're not sure. Yeah. They're stuck in that phase of like, oh, I want to try it, but I don't know what to do, or will I be embarrassed? Or like, I feel like that's another form of analysis paralysis where you're just like overcomplicating everything, and then you get stuck in that, like you're worried about what people think, and then maybe you try and film something, and then you don't like how it turned out. Yeah. And I think that happens a lot to people too. Like just a more vague version of it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think especially people that, ask us for advice on social media, and they want to do, like, they just want to get into it more, and they look at all the stuff we're doing, and they maybe watch our YouTube videos, and they say, like, they want to jump right to that point where they, are making videos that are getting a lot of views. Yeah. And that's, like, almost impossible. Like, the videos that we started making out were horrible. They were just so terrible, but the only way to figure it out is to just get on there, do it, and you're going to get better at it. So yeah, I think that is, like, people have that perfection mindset. Like, they don't want to go into it and start this unless they can produce this perfect result, which is impossible. Right. You need to just start somewhere and then work your way towards that. Yeah. But I think that's something that can be really difficult just with how much stuff is out there. Yeah. It's so easy to compare yourself to other people. Oh my gosh,
of course.
And you can't do that. No. Who should you compare yourself to?
Yourself. Your old self.
Yep. Yourself from yesterday.
Yep.
That's the only person.
Is that another quote from a book?
I think it is. And I think that's probably the thing I like the most about listening to audiobooks. It's not necessarily like I listen to something, pick up something super impactful, and I'm like, okay, we need to do this. There are some things that jump out at you that are like that, but for the most part, it's just like stuff like this. Like, I'm not sure which book it was in that, right. All these things are from, but now it's in my head, and it makes me think about it. Like, I don't remember the book that was like, no decision is worse than a bad decision. I'm not sure which book that was even in, but obviously it stuck with me, and it's something I think about a lot. So yeah, that's something that I really like about the audiobooks. Yeah. What are you listening to now?
YouTube Formula.
Yeah, okay.
We're back on that. We're back on that train.
I think I'm probably done on that for a little while. I've listened to it like 4 or 5 times. Yeah. Straight through, yeah. Great book. So we're trying to really implement some of those things.
Yeah. Trying to get real tactical.
It's crazy how much analytical data you can get from YouTube Studio.
Yeah, the back end stuff. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That can definitely induce analysis paralysis.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's every metric you could possibly need.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah. And, I mean, for like the most people who aren't on YouTube, they probably don't know what YouTube Studio even is. But it's just like all your back end information. You can look at every metric. We know
how long people watch.
How long, when they turn it off, what time our viewers are looking at this stuff, what countries they're from, what age they are. Yeah. Like everything you need to know.
It's crazy.
Like it's basically everything except for the people's names. Like we know a lot about the metrics.
We do.
So when all of that is at your fingertips, it's hard not to just that's why I say we go in waves, because there have been a couple times since I've worked here, I've just gotten so obsessed with that stuff. And then it's like, okay, you need to back up a little bit, look at it more like completely, and but it's hard not to get sucked into the numbers.
It definitely is.
And like that's YouTube for us, but other people's businesses, they do that with like
everything,
financials it's easy to just get sucked in.
Any aspect of it can have that same effect. There's like 10 different things in your business that you need to look at data from, whether it's your accounting, it's your just anything, materials on a job site, or how you lay out the project efficiency wise. Like, you can really get bogged down trying to perfect it, when I think the most helpful thing for me is to just focus on like one of those things at a time. So right now we're really trying to enhance our YouTube videos and just reach a broader audience. And the thing that we're most focused on right now, I think, is audience retention. The first 30 seconds of a video, you have your biggest drop off. So we're trying to figure out what is it that can make people stay longer and watch more of it, because that can have like a compounding effect. If 10% of people just continue watching and don't click off, that's a huge wave throughout all your videos. So that's something that's really top of mind for us right now.
When you so I know all about the analysis paralysis with like social media analytics and all that kind of stuff, but do you ever feel like, I'm pretty hands off when it comes to financial stuff in the business? How do you feel? You're the one handling all that stuff. Do you feel that way about like financials?
A little bit. I'd say with the financials in the past, it's been more like overwhelmed just by, I guess, I used to be really just overwhelmed by the complexity of what I need to do and how I need to keep track of stuff. But I don't think it ever really kept me from doing a lot of stuff, because a lot of the decisions I made in business were going to like hurt the bottom line for now so that we could take a bigger step forward later. So when we had gotten to a point where a lot of jobs were coming in, we were getting pretty efficient, we were building, the projects were a lot smaller back then, but we were getting pretty efficient at them and being able to charge a really good rate for it. Our reputation was built up. And then I decided, okay, forget all the financial stuff. Like, if I look at that is going to tell me that starting a YouTube channel and filming every day is going to be a horrible idea. And when you look at it from a financial perspective, like day to day back then, it was horrible. It was a horrible business decision, but I was looking at it like, this is going to be the next thing that propels us forward.
Right.
So I never felt like it held me back, but I was always overwhelmed by it. And I think that's just where you need to have the right people around you. Like, find a good accountant that handles a lot of that stuff. Like, I'm not doing a whole lot of bookkeeping. Like, ours are pretty simple. So they handle our business credit card and our bank account and all that kind of stuff, do bookkeeping. I can check in on QuickBooks Online. It's very simple for us. So make sure that you're like reaching out, and if you don't have a really good handle on how to do that, you need to hire an accountant, hire a bookkeeper, and make sure that it's something that's kept up with. And especially with things like all the software that's out there now, if you have somebody keeping up with it for you, you can just sign on and check in and say, okay, I can pull up a P&L right now. I can look at what our receivables are, what is going out. And it's a really, really important thing to do when you're making a lot of business decisions on pricing and, buying equipment, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I always feel like when in my past life, my role was part of the accounting team, which I did not go to account. Like, I don't know anything about accounting other than what I learned on that job. And I was always blown away by like smaller businesses doing their own accounting. Like, I feel like if you didn't go to school for accounting and you don't know like the nitty gritty, you should hire an accountant. That's like,
you definitely
number
need
one.
An accountant.
It's so complex and like so nuanced that I can't even imagine being responsible for that kind of stuff. And
it's not that expensive. Like, we have, they check in on it, intermittently. It does the year-end taxes, and I probably spend like $5,000 a year hiring an accountant, and it's like the best money that you could spend because I don't need to worry about it. Like, I can call him and say, hey, is this, how do I categorize this expense? Is this a write-off? And also I can check in with them and we can forecast like, okay, how's the year looking? We should make a bigger estimated payment so that you're not left with at the end of the year like a huge tax bill.
Yeah.
Because I've been in that situation a lot and it's scary.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm not like a big spender on like random stuff, but like the first couple years I was like, I have no clue how much I'm going to owe. Yeah. And it could be like, $10,000, it could be $50,000.
Yeah.
Like 3 years ago, I had to pay $50,000 at the end of the year. And I was like, whoa, good thing I have this. And I didn't like just go buy a truck or something.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy.
Yeah. Lots of people do that. And then
so many people do that. And then they're like, all right, I guess I'll get on a payment plan with the IRS. You don't want that.
You don't want that.
You don't want to be like in debt to the IRS. That's never, hopefully I'll never have to do that. I haven't had to yet. And we're just getting better at forecasting and like making those preparations. And that's with just checking in on an accountant, letting him handle all of that analysis. Mm-hmm. I just check in with him and he says, okay, I looked at your books. This is going good. It looks like you might have more, income this year. So we should probably do a bigger estimated payment this quarter. And just keeps everything a lot easier for us. You don't want that shock at the end of the year.
No.
So sometimes you need to outsource your analysis.
I was going to say, that's a great way to avoid analysis paralysis is just hire trusted people to handle the analysis paralysis for you. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. What else is there anything that you felt besides like the YouTube numbers, like that you felt analysis paralysis in this business?
Yeah, I think I would say that there's so much out of your control in a construction business, like timing and shipments and that kind of stuff. Yeah. You're really at the will of other people and you kind of just have to make the best of the situation. So when I first started, I was like, we need to make all of this stuff faster. We need to like really get a handle on all this kind of stuff. And and we've definitely improved in a lot of ways, but it's still kind of like hard to see it until you're in there where it's like, oh, well, all right, we can't really adjust that because they're not gonna get here any faster no matter how much you
not with that
scream or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely felt analysis paralysis with that because I was like just looking at every angle, like how can we make this faster? Which helped, but
yeah, I think you need to have that mindset. Like, there are a lot of unpredictable, uncontrollable things in this business, but you can't just like look at every single thing that is slowing you down and say, well, couldn't have anticipated that.
Of course.
So there needs to be like a balance.
Yeah.
Which I think we've done pretty good at.
Yeah.
Right?
Realistic expectations are absolutely a part of it.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you can't be like, okay, well, these things are taking too long because the shipping or whatever is taking too long. We're going to fix that.
Yeah.
You need to be realistic and be like, okay, well, I can't fix the shipping time. So
the port.
What we can do, the port's all backed up or whatever.
Is that still happening?
I don't know.
You just kind of stopped hearing about the port.
You stopped hearing about the port, but everyone's still talking about delays.
Yeah.
Which actually, I feel like our delays have gotten like back to normal, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much everything's been pretty good for us this year. Let us know how materials and stuff like that has been for everybody out there because we've seen everything's gotten so much better this year with materials. We haven't had crazy delays or crazy back orders.
Yeah. We ordered a heated flooring system.
Got there like 2 days.
It was literally there in 2 days. And it's like it's not like a out the door thing. It's like a custom thing that you have to send the plans for and everything. And I was like, that blew my mind. I was like, I cannot believe that this was here in 2 days.
They were a pretty good company to deal with.
Yeah.
They were really nice.
Yeah.
So
should we give them a plug?
Warmly yours. Warmly yours.
Warmly yours. They were great.
Yeah, they forgot to email us back the one day, and then the lady was just apologizing so
just over
profusely,
the top.
Like, oh, I cannot believe it. Linda was handling that, and she's usually so good. She is really on top. She must be going through something. Yeah. She must be.
Poor Linda.
She was really, really apologetic, and I was like, honestly, it's really not that big of a deal. We're not even installing it yet, so. Take it easy, Pam, or whatever. I got some other stuff that I want to talk about.
Okay, let's
Do you have anything else on analysis paralysis for now?
No, we can
go back into it.
We can go back into it if we think of
something that's really grinding my gears.
Ooh.
It's really.
Ooh, this is a new segment. What's grinding your gears?
You know what's grinding my gears is so many people out there just want to be like a coach and a success mentor and like all this stuff, but haven't like really done the thing yet.
Yeah.
And just want to like, have this like shtick on, oh, this is how it's easy. I'm going to teach you how to make a 7-figure business in 1 year. And it's like, I'm so tired of seeing that. Mm-hmm. And it's like so unrealistic. If one thing that we do is like, it's supposed to be hard. Like, it's not going to be easy to start a business. And like, there's a million things that you don't know, and you don't know that you don't know them till you get there and you don't know it.
Yeah.
And recently, this like young hotshot guy, I don't know too much about the story. I don't want to like dime him out or anything. Mm-hmm. He's seemingly getting dimed out by the law right now. But he had even reached out to us about he's starting this software company about, like streamlining things in your business. And he's like a really young kid, like 19. And he's doing YouTube videos like, this is how we're going to do $5 million in business this year. And this is how, and just like all this over the top, like mentor kind of like just bullshit, really.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of it. And then it comes out like he taking deposits and not doing the work. And he had taken like $210,000 from a client on a $280,000 project, and like nothing was done. There was like a hole in the ground where a pool was supposed to go, and just all this stuff. And he was like, I think he was trying to be more of like a influencer, success coach, mentor than actually like running a business. And I don't know. I'm just like, so when I saw that story, I was like so fed up with it, because I remember he like reached out to me like, hey, we're building this software, like it's going to be really cool. And it was almost like a pyramid scheme kind of thing. It seemed like, use this referral code and like everybody that you sign up, like, and it was going to be like insanely expensive. And it was just like ridiculous, because even the most expensive like job tracking softwares are like $500 a month. This was going to be $1,500 a month. And like this kid is making it with like a team of engineers. Like, some of these companies are really big. They have like, maybe 50 or whatever engineers working on this product. Like, there's no way it's going to be 3 times better than the most expensive one out there. It's just insane and ridiculous. And it's like this whole 10X mindset. And I don't want to like completely beat down anybody that's like a 10Xer, because I don't know that much about it. But it just seems like a lot of these 10Xers are just like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I'm tired of it. And
did he sell any of these at $1,500 a month?
It wasn't even like completed yet. It was like, but I think there was like a wait list, and I think like he was taking like investors.
Yeah, I was
or
gonna
like,
say, was it like a crowdsourcing thing? Where
I think it was something. I don't know too much about it, because like I see stuff like that, and I'm just like, this ain't my style.
Yeah.
I don't know this. Yeah. I don't vibe with this. And hey, you're a young kid or whatever, and apparently you're doing great in business. That's awesome, man. Keep it up. And part of me is like, is it like, it is this kid's fault for doing all this stuff, but part of me feels like he's just caught up in that culture of like, oh yeah, of course you're gonna have problems in business, but you just got to 10X it, and like, yeah, okay, just sell the pools, don't worry, we'll figure out how to put them in later. And it's like, you gotta at some point be like, you need to like have some skills, like you need to have some experience to be doing this. It's just insane.
Yeah.
And
I feel like it's the modern, like, I don't know that much about this particular person, so I'm just speaking generally about these people, but it seems like it's just like the modern version of like snake oil salesman. Like, that's always been like a thing throughout history, where you hear about these like famous con men. Yeah. And it's just that now they have the internet to like boast all this stuff on it.
And it's like, these people want to like, if the people are that successful running their business, they don't need to like become a success coach or whatever.
Yeah.
If their business is as successful as they claim, it's like, why are you putting so much emphasis on being like this coach and like doing courses that are so expensive?
Yeah.
Like, it's just insane. It's insane.
Like, there's, like you said, if they're successful in their own business, why, like, I feel like there are very few people in this world that are genuinely charitable and like, are like, man, I'm going to do whatever I can to help you. So why are these people giving up their business to be like, I'm going to help you in your business?
It's only going to cost you 50 grand. It's just insane. And we get people that reach out to us a lot that are like, hey, do you do any type of mentorship or like anything like that? And I don't feel like I'm really qualified to be like somebody's mentor. You know, I could whatever advice that I could give somebody, we're giving it out on YouTube or we're giving it out here for free. That's, you know, not that I don't like think that that format can be beneficial and like somebody can bring a lot of value, but it's always been a big sticking point for me, like to not want to go that route because I just feel like there's so many disingenuous people that are doing that and haven't really like walked the walk and are just like, you know, just like throwing out these bullshit, like, you know, just these like stupid schemes and like theories on how you, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's really grinding my gears.
It sounds like it. Yeah. It is.
It's like depressing.
Yeah.
It's depressing to hear about it.
And also I feel like it's just another thing that's like a black eye on the industry when people, hear these bad stories and then they're like, oh, all these contractors, they're just trying to be, you know, it's just like, it's another way to invalidate the industry. People are already like, oh, contractors are like shady. They just steal money or whatever. This is just like another outlet for that to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Like seem kind of shady.
Yeah, and it is shady.
It is shady.
It's super shady.
Everyone just needs to learn how to be chill.
Yeah,
we always
just
say
be
that.
Chill. Yeah, why can't the world just be chill? But it's, you know, the people, they're like, we'll teach you how to run a 7-figure business, no problem. And, you know, we'll teach you our systems and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of people that aren't meant to run 7-figure businesses.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that aren't meant to run a business at all.
Yeah.
But they will, you know, very willingly just like sell you this course and be like, go ahead, go on your way. We gave you these systems and I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some good in it and stuff, but like, and this is just one bad story, but
yeah,
the whole thing just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Like you said, if these people are actually, if they have actually done it, if they actually have, like, there is so much value in mentorships for sure. People like gain so much, and we've talked about like trying, not mentoring people, but like starting groups like mastermind, like just so it's a group of people collectively sharing their knowledge. Yeah. And there is so much value in that. And if you have built this amazing business and you really feel like you have something to share with people, then that's wonderful. But like a lot of these people, it's like, okay, well, where's your 7-figure business? Why did you give up your 7-figure business to now hawk stuff on the internet? Like what happened there?
Yeah.
Some sort of disconnect, it seems.
There is a disconnect there. Yeah, I mean, that was a bit of a rant by me, but it's just been like, I don't know.
It's grinding your gears. I get it.
It's grinding my gears.
It's a safe space.
I just want to, hopefully, like, I never want to come across like I know everything or I have it all figured out, because that is like so far from the truth. Like, I want to willingly give away whatever advice the few things I am good at, give away that advice to people so that they can learn from it. I learned a lot of stuff from different people, whether talking to them directly online or just watching their videos. So I want to like give back to that kind of like community. Yeah. And just, give it back to people for free. Yeah. Not everything has to be like a...
It's almost kind of like we started a podcast, a free podcast to do that.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Yeah. But I think, I'm not a business owner, so I don't have any room to talk, but I feel like at any stage in business, you always, like, even when you feel like you've reached a new level, it's still kind of like, you're still figuring things out. Yeah. Like, I can't imagine ever feeling like we've figured everything out and everything this business is perfect. Like, every new level, you're like, okay, well now what?
New level, new problems.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there are definitely people that have reached out and asked you questions and that kind of stuff, and you have shared your knowledge in that way. But to be like, oh, we have found the secret, and we are going to sell it to you for $50,000. Just Venmo us, and we'll give you all the secrets.
Just Venmo
that seems like
Venmo it first, and then we'll give you the secrets. It's just crazy. I don't know, and I think it feels like when you hear stuff like that there's like a disconnect of people that just really like value their craft and their word and their like, integrity.
Yeah.
I think let's be on the positive side. I think that is just what's top of mind because of this story that I heard and, this particular thing. But for the most part, everybody that listens to this podcast, very full of integrity. And that's enough on that probably. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I feel like I was in a confessional booth there. I feel like I really got a lot of that out.
Yeah.
And I just want to hopefully we're bringing value to people and we're giving it away for free. Yeah. And I always find realistically when you do have knowledge or, experience to share with people and you do it just freely, it always comes back to you more.
Yeah.
You always get more in return.
And and every single person on this planet has something to offer other people. Like, you can learn something from every single person on this planet.
You definitely can.
A story comes to mind, and I won't name names, but someone looked someone else in the eye and said, two very successful businessmen, one said to the other,
"Oh,
I don't have a single thing to learn from you. Why would I listen to you speak?"
Yep.
And I can't imagine ever having that mentality. Like I could look at anybody and think that I have something to learn from them because they have a wealth of experiences that
you don't
I didn't have. So of course I could learn something from them.
That is an extremely unfortunate way to live your life. For sure.
What, being?
Not the way you're.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think
that person.
I think I have a very optimistic way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To just like really think that, and I think that particular, I do know what you're talking about and who you're talking about. I think that sometimes I find it hard to believe that somebody really thinks that like deep in their soul, but their ego or pride or whatever.
I don't know. I feel like some people
might. Yeah.
I think that man did.
I think he might have too. But it's I think that's where you really hit a roadblock and you're not going to level up when you think that you can't learn from somebody.
How could you possibly level up if you already think you're at the top?
Yeah, you can't.
When your top is not somebody else's top.
Yeah, exactly.
The top.
Yeah. So, glad we got that off of our chest. How deep are we here?
37 minutes.
37 minutes.
Yeah. We forgot to podcast, or we forgot how to podcast.
We did. We're a little rusty. We are a little rusty. I know we got some other stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
What do we got? What I do want to talk about is the job that we're on right now.
Yeah.
There are a couple things that are kind of giving me, to circle back on analysis paralysis about this project, is we had really keyed in on the beginning of the year on scheduling.
Yeah.
That is, whatever is beyond out the window, it's that.
Yeah.
It was out the window before, and now it's just like incinerated. The schedule is gone. There is no schedule anymore. It's insane.
I hadn't looked at the calendar until maybe right before we started this job. I may have looked at the calendar. And I just looked at it a week ago, and I was like, "This is laughable at this point."
Yeah, we're months behind.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
There have been so many things that have been added to this project that we're on.
Yes.
Every day, seemingly.
Pretty much.
Every day, seemingly. Do you think that is a good thing for us to be like, okay, you waited a long time for us to get here. Before you added this stuff, you were still spending a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So whatever things that you want to add on or enhance as part of this project while we're here, because this is going to be a forever backyard, we'll do it. Do you think I should continue to do that, or I should say, hey, that's not what was contracted. We don't have time.
Yeah.
We got to walk.
So
peace.
That's a funny question because when we started this job and they added all this stuff, I was like, Sean, you have to say no. We have to move on. This is going to double the time at this project, and we already are, we're a one crew team. We can't, it's not like we can send guys elsewhere. We're we're on this job until we finish. You have to tell these people no, because they were adding huge things until you framed it to me like that's the good thing about our business. Like, these people are going to get exactly what they want. Yeah. And the next people are going to know that they waited because they are also going to get exactly what they want when we're there. Yep. And we do stay until we finish. So it's like, we're there. Yep. You can, if you want to change something, you can change something.
Exactly.
And I think that is a very unique thing to offer as a business. Most businesses are just like, no, if you want that other thing, you're going to have to go back at the end of the line. Yeah. We'll give you a new estimate and we'll work from there. But I think that the way that we do things is already a little bit different. So that kind of just adds to the uniqueness of the business. Yeah. And it stresses me out. And I think that
it's very stressful. I try not to think about it. It's just like, it's a tough thing to juggle, because I kind of look at it like this is probably the furthest that we've been like behind, quote unquote. But what I try to look at it is, and Anthony, actually, the client came out today and they added something a little small.
What?
They're just adding another TV and some outlets and stuff like that on the thing that we already added with the wall and the bar and the banquette and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
So that stuff was already added. Now he wants a TV with some outlets and stuff like that.
Right.
And we were talking kind of about, like, it's almost like a joke now with the client, like, we got another thing. What do you think? And I'm just like, that's what we do.
Yeah.
We want this to be like the best experience you've ever had. And Ant was like, hey, you remember what you felt like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, before we got here? Like, you were antsy to get started. We were a little bit behind at that point. You were just like dying for us to start. That's how the next client feels right now. But I think it's more important to, at the end of the project, when you're completed, have the client feel just over the moon, like completely satisfied and happy with the whole experience, rather than just have that like really good feeling in the beginning when you start on time. And then you're like just hopping around like, oh, we said that we were going to start this job on this date, so we got to leave your job because we're behind and go start this job, and we'll dig footings, and and then we'll bounce back to your job, and So I think our goal should be to get a handle on the schedule, make some adjustments in the future so that we can like maybe anticipate these things a little bit more.
Right.
But have the client feel at the end of the project like they got our full undivided attention, and that we weren't trying to cut corners to speed out of there. Like, we want, and a lot of this comes down to me, like, I want the project to be as cool as possible.
Right.
If there is a cool idea, sometimes I'm going to add it just to add it. But if a client's like, okay, we want to add this thing, and I'm like, well, not only is that going to make you happier, you've already waited all this time. It's a huge project, whether we do this thing or not. Plus, it's going to make it cooler. Of course, we want to do it.
Right.
So that's a tough thing, and I think a lot of like smaller companies or solo operators can definitely relate to that. Like, things added onto the project just blow up your schedule, and you get like, you kind of have that like antsy feeling about the next client, like, because they're anticipating you getting started and they're excited and all this stuff. So you need to find that balance of like keeping those expectations and that next client happy and all that kind of stuff, but not sacrificing the current client's experience, because at the end of the day, that is what we provide. So we want to be like, we feel like when we're there, we're like part of their family.
Yeah.
For a while.
Oh yeah. We are fully immersed in this family.
We really are. We really are, which is awesome. And we're having like so much fun there.
Yeah.
It's a great project and all that stuff. So every time they want to add something, I'm like, yeah, hey, why not? You want to add this? Sure.
Yeah.
At this point, we're so behind schedule. What's the difference?
The excitement that they have trumps the hard awkwardness of a conversation saying like we're behind schedule and your job's going to be started 2 weeks late or a month late or whatever.
Yeah.
So it is worth it. And it really helped me put it in perspective when you framed it that way, because at first I was like, this is awful. I hate this. We need to be on schedule.
Yeah.
I am a schedule person and this is driving me crazy.
But I think what we need to do next year to overcome this this predicament that we always find ourselves in, it's like this every single year because people always add stuff, but now it's like, and we always continually add more buffer time to a project, but then the projects are so big, so each thing that gets added is just like crazy. Like this project literally doubled in size. Mm-hmm. It was already a really big project. Now it's like 2 really big projects in one. So I think next year what we need to look at is like leave some, like don't overbook ourselves for the whole year. Like maybe book 6 projects at the beginning of the year, depending on the size, and just say, this is the line. This is the project that's before you. And like give that to our clients so they can see, there's no timeline. It's just, you follow our progress. We're on this job now. Okay, next, and then you're the one after that. They can watch our social media, they can watch our YouTube, they know where we're at on our projects, so they can like anticipate it. But just doing any sort of like time frame is almost impossible at this point. Yeah. So that's something that when we break into that wait list that we have backed up, which that's another thing that kind of gives me a little bit of stress, just knowing that there's people waiting. Yeah. Just like, I don't know.
And we couldn't possibly get to all of them
if we booked all of these jobs, we would be booked for over 10 years. Yeah. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Yes. Yeah. So that's something that we're really going to need to dive into, like in the fall when we open up the queue again. Yeah. So we'll probably do another podcast on that at the time of, and kind of give our plan for what we're going to do for that. Yeah. That'll be a TBD situation. That will be a TBD situation, but a lot of things in life and business are. That's true. TBD. Is true, yeah. You never know. I wonder how other people do it. Like I know that like there are deck builders that they're great at scheduling because they're just doing like the same project over and over again, and they've got it down to science, which is great. Yeah. But like other similar companies, how do you think they do it? What's their? I don't know. If anybody's got any like really good advice for us, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. I think this is a very common thing in the construction industry, to be honest, because you're not just like making a product, selling it. Like there are, when you're remodeling or building, there's so many unknown factors that it's almost impossible. I think some companies handle it by, okay, we're so far behind, we just go out and hire more people. We get back on schedule. Once we're back on schedule and things slow down, we lay those people off. Like that's not how we really want to go about it. So it's tough, but I think that is some people's mentality. Yeah. Hey, we're super busy. We got all these jobs. Let's hire another sub crew. Let's hire 5 more laborers. Let's, do that. Yeah. But that's not really our goal. And I think our clients appreciate the personable experience that they get. Yeah. I'm on site every day, so they can walk right up to me and say, Sean, we want to add this. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. Let's do it. So more to come on that in the future, I guess. Yeah. We'll let you know how we're handling it. Or if somebody messages us with some good advice, we'll share it with you. Yeah. That's a learning experience. That is a learning experience. I would say we're getting close to the end of the happy hour. Yeah. Is it time for the I think it's time. The secret question? Did you think of one? Yeah, I just did right now. You did? But why don't you go first, cuz you always make me go first. Okay. Do you have one? Yeah, I actually thought of one on the ride here. Oh, okay. The first time I actually thought of one. Out of it's coming up on a year at Premiere. Yep. A pretty premiere year, I'd say. It has been a pretty premiere year, yeah. What is something that you've done here that you're the most proud of? That's a great question. Thank you. I came up with it all by myself. That's a great question, yeah. Because you've done a lot of different things. Yeah. You've done computer stuff. You've done so many stone things. Stuff. You've done paver stuff. You've done deck stuff.
Yeah.
You've kind of ran the gamut. So what's something that you did, completed, accomplished, whatever that you're
Are you
most
asking
proud
for
of?
like a meta thing or like a specific tangible thing?
Just a question. Take
Okay.
it however you want.
I think that the thing that I'm most proud of is I feel like I've really found a balance of doing like the business stuff that I was initially hired to do, and then also doing a lot of the construction stuff. And I'm pretty comfortable on the job site with like very little instruction now. So I think
You really are, yeah.
I'm proud of that. I think that I've come a long way in my construction knowledge. I think that like I was pretty confident with going into it. I feel like I'm pretty handy, and I have this very inflated self-ego where I think that I can do absolutely anything that I set my mind to.
Everyone should have that. Yeah, everyone should have that.
So I did already have that going into it, but I feel like I've learned a lot, and I'm pretty confident with the amount of knowledge that I have now.
Yeah,
and I'm confident.
So.
When I was first hired, it was like kind of a new world to me, and I wasn't really like we'd go to these shows, and I'd be constantly asking questions, and I didn't feel like I had a good knowledge base of my own because I was just like a little sponge soaking it all in. But I feel like now,
because everyone was just like,
and because everyone was just talking down to me.
You're just a lady. Ladies don't know anything.
Also because of that, yeah. But now I feel like I can really carry myself in this industry.
Yeah. You can be like,
totally
what do you think
fine.
about those new boards, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, did you see them? You get your hands on them? Oh, yeah, really eats through the saw blades, huh? Yeah, you can really just,
I can just
walk
chat
the walk
with the
and talk the talk.
Yeah. So but I feel like I like that. I love that I have I feel like I can talk business with the business people, and I can also talk construction with the construction people. So
yeah,
I'm proud of this balance that I have found because I love it. I think that it really speaks to my interests, and I feel like when you love what you do, you excel at it. So I feel like I've really found this niche, and I'm really ready to just hit it hard and continue and grow next year.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
It is.
And I think the thing that has allowed you to do all of those things is like when you jump on the tools and are out there building stuff, like you have a very like can-do attitude. Like you can kind of like look at what somebody else is doing and like, just ask the pertinent questions like, okay, this, like some people are so crippled by, I need to be told every single step of the way. Like, that's something I think you can't really teach. Like some people are that way and are just like, oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're doing there. I can do that. Yeah. If I have a question, I can ask. But some people are just like, okay, I put the nails in the gun. Now what do I do? I pulled the trigger. Okay. I did that. Now what do I do? Keep doing that. Yeah, just keep going. You got like 1,000 nails to put in. Some people are so like, they need like acute attention and direction at every like, so I think maybe that is attributed to your ego. You don't want to ask, too many questions. You're like, get out of my way. I
will figure this out on my own.
Get out of my way.
Usually my question is like, how can I like ruin this? So I don't do that. How can I absolutely ruin this? And then you say, like the other day, I was using the giant demo saw, and that was the first time I had used that particular saw. So I was like, how can I hurt myself with this? And you're like, you can't really, obviously, just don't.
No, you definitely can. You totally can. I said that.
You said
bad direction. That's horrible direction.
No. I mean, I know how to use a saw, so I was confident in that way. I was
don't
just saying,
cut
like,
any part of your body off.
What's different about this saw that could hurt me? And you were like, just don't cut your fingers off or cut your toes off. Like,
yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. And then I just used it, and it was fine. Everything was fine.
That is good advice. Yeah. Don't cut any parts of your body off, and you're fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
You're fine. You can still count to 10?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Fingers on toes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be 20.
Well, I can count to 10 on my fingers, or I can count to 10 on my toes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. That's great. All right. Well, that's a great answer.
Thanks.
Very good answer.
Yeah. It's been a good year.
I can't believe it's coming up on a year.
I know.
That is like really flown by.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be next month.
Yeah, in August it'll be a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah. But we originally talked about maybe me joining the team on Sarah, your wife's birthday, which was July 22nd. And that's in a couple days.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, I do remember that. Wow.
Yeah, so it's been almost a year in the works. Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, okay, so your question.
Do I have to answer my own question?
Oh, right, yeah.
You forgot how this works.
I already forgot.
It's been too long.
How is that applicable to you, though?
I don't know. I didn't.
How are you?
What? I have nothing to be proud of. What do you mean?
No, I mean like, what are you proud of over last year?
Or just in
is that
general?
the question?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
All right, pass. I guess. Yeah.
No,
that's
don't
pass. Okay.
What over the last year has made you proud?
Okay, so
of
just
yourself?
the last year.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I would say we'll just keep it business related.
Mm-hmm.
I would say sticking to our goals. Our goal chart has really worked well, and not no negative vibes.
Yeah.
No negative vibes ever. I think that has we have a very positive energy on site now.
Yeah.
We've really I feel like we really have a can-do attitude on the job site, and I think that that's something that I'm very proud of. I'm at least a little bit of a part of that.
Yeah.
So, I think that's what it is.
Good vibes.
Good vibes, and problem solving, and just having a can-do attitude, because we're always doing new things. I mean, on this job, we're doing 50 things that we've never done before. We're doing these huge bifold accordion doors. We're doing just a crazy amount of stuff. We're doing heated floors. We're doing a crazy amount of stuff. So I think that is the attitude that everybody has on the job site, and that we've kind of cultivated. That's what I'm the most proud of.
That's a really nice answer.
Thank you. Thank you.
really
I
like
appreciate
that.
that.
I like
I appreciate that. All right, now it's time for your secret question. What do you got?
Yes, sir.
What do you got? Did you actually think of one?
I did in that second. It's kind of a silly one, but
Okay.
we were both sick last week. Both of us had illnesses.
Yeah.
What's your comfort? What's your go-to when you're not feeling good?
To ignore it and push through. I ignored it pretty good for a while. But once after I really couldn't swallow anything, my throat was so swollen, and I probably shouldn't have went to work,
Yeah.
but I can't help it. I don't
Yeah.
know. So I couldn't swallow anything. I was just and that's when I went to the doctor, and they were like, "You got strep throat."
Yeah.
So I would say probably ice cream.
That's funny, yeah.
Probably ice cream.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I always heard
That's a
as a
solid one.
child that ice cream is the best medicine,
Yeah.
and can't argue with it. Definitely can't argue with it. Now that there's DoorDash, just DoorDash a pint, just demolish that thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it makes you feel better, but tastes good.
Yeah. I mean, with strep throat, it's cold. That does feel really good.
Yeah, but it was pretty much swallowing anything hurt. So it wasn't that great, but yeah.
Okay.
It was still all right. I
All
still
right.
like ice cream.
Yeah.
Ice cream's good no matter what, whether you're sick and it hurts to eat or you're not. So
Yeah.
what's your go-to?
I also love ignoring being sick.
Yeah.
And I tried. I didn't go to work, then I did come to work, and then I had to not go to work
Yeah.
again. My ignoring didn't work in that instance. But so if I can't ignore it, then my answer was also going to be ice cream.
Ice cream's great.
But
who doesn't love ice cream?
I feel like it really does help, and to me, I feel like that kind of stuff just doesn't count when you're sick.
Oh no, of course not.
If with our sticker chart and stuff, if I do eat ice cream, it makes me feel bad. I feel guilty about it. But when you're sick, it's free pass. I can eat whatever I want.
Yeah. What's your go-to ice cream?
Chocolate peanut butter.
Chocolate
I would
peanut
say,
butter.
yeah.
Okay. What peanut butter cut, Reese's ice cream?
No,
what
it's
are we talking?
it's
Are we talking Moose
chocolate,
Tracks?
and then it's got ripples of peanut butter in it.
What brand are we talking here? I never.
Haagen-Dazs. Wawa's got one, but
Oh, yeah.
Haagen-Dazs or Nellie Bly's, our local ice cream
Yeah,
place,
burned
they've
down.
got it.
It burned down. They don't have it anymore.
They do not have this kind of ice cream
Yeah.
anymore. But I bet when they rebuild, they will have it again.
They will rebuild and they will have it. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, other than that, ginger ale.
Ginger
I
ale.
will just chug ginger ale.
Ginger ale is, it's something I'll never, ever, on purpose drink ginger ale.
Yeah.
It's always just that's the only thing that's there.
Yeah.
Somebody's I got some ginger ale in the fridge. And you're you know what? Yeah, I could down a can of ginger ale. And then you drink it, you're So refreshing. Ginger ale, so good.
Nice. It is.
But actually, now that I say that, I do probably my go-to drink is whiskey and ginger ale.
Oh yeah.
So I do drink it in that setting a lot.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Yeah. Well, when I was sick this time, I did lose my taste and my smell. So the ice cream hit a little different, but still ate it.
But still good medicine.
Yeah.
Still good medicine.
But when you were sick, did you really feel sick? Like you fooled me. I thought you were completely fine. Like you lost your voice and you just kept saying you were fine. So I was like, okay, I guess he's fine.
I felt, I don't know. I was really, really, I mean, we had so much going on. Like I couldn't miss work. I couldn't. So yeah, I felt like okay for the most part. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because like a lot of time, like sometimes there's more van time than there is belt on time. Yeah. But like the time I was sick, it was like belt on the whole time. And I think that helped me ignore it a good amount. But then my throat just like was so swollen that like it really hurt to swallow. And then it felt like I had like cuts in my throat. So it was just really, but besides that, I felt fine.
Oh, I was going to say, you're a great actor if you're like, you really fooled everyone into thinking you're fine.
Yeah.
But, all right.
Okay.
Well, glad we're never going to be sick again.
We're never going to be sick again. System, so. We're now immune to all sicknesses. So yeah, that's good. And it feels like we're getting back on the bicycle.
Yeah. We're back at it.
We're back at it. It's exciting.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you have anything else left to say?
I think that's it for this week. I think next week we'll have a better, we'll be in the flow of things again. Yeah. We'll be back. We'll be back on the horse. Right now we're back on the bike. We'll be back on the horse next week. And till next time, this has been the Hardworking Happy Hour.
See you next week. For real this time.